Hello, yeah, wrong. There's so much going on today. This is Ranty Llox Part 1. Much to talk about. The big elephant in the room is Tucker Carlson interviewing Vladimir Putin, President Putin of Russia. The Western media are up in arms. The usual suspects are saying it's all lies, it's all lies. Hillary Clinton's come out and gone, it's all lies. It's just a puppy dog, it's all lies. It's when somebody tells you that it's lies, you tend to think, hang on a second, Hillary. Let's actually have a watch of this and make our own mind up. Or minds up, if you want to talk about the collective. So America, it's eating itself politically. It's corrupt. It's the different cheeks of the same arse. They give you two options. And I doubt the American people are wanting to take either. It's so complex. America, the industrial military complex that's making a shed load of money. So let's just get it into perspective. Let's look at two presidents being interviewed yesterday. One is an elderly boy with a poor memory, well-meaning, according to special counsel. That's President Biden. Or a spitting image once said in the 80s, the president's brain is missing. So Biden's standing there not having a clue which planet he's on, let alone who he's supposed to be talking to, maybe just himself in his own head. And then you've got Vladimir Putin, sharp as a tack, and sitting there and giving young Carlson, Tucker Carlson, the best interview. I mean, it's just global. It's worldwide. It's everywhere. And this is a man that has nearly 12 million subscribers on one social media platform. And if you want to find me on the same social media platform, it is at Adrian Allen. That's it. It's that simple. At Adrian Allen. Now, let's get into this. So, President Biden, last night, he said, look, lads, I know the special counsel says I'm elderly, well-meaning, and I've got a poor memory. Well, I can remember that there's nothing wrong with my memory. Just ask President Sisi of Mexico. That's obviously Mexico. Egypt. Look, President Biden can't even remember where Hunter's laptop is, let alone who's the president of Egypt, let alone what time of the day it is, and how much are they putting on his cornflakes first thing in the morning? Bit of Colombian? Can they get away with that? Look, can you remember the mafia boss that played stupid, that played dumb? We've had other presidents that have played dumb. Reagan, Bush, some of them have played proper dumb because they don't want to get found out, do they? But this boy in office is absolutely being found out. And his memory's so poor, they're actually going to allow him to stand for president in 2024. Behave. So, can you remember the story of Vincent Louis Gigante, the Genovese family crime overlord who ruled a sprawling crime empire for over 25 years with an iron and deadly fist? Vinny Chin Gigante displayed signs of insanity that stunned the public, stymied the police and the FBI, and secured his power for decades. Is that the tack that President Biden's taking? I mean, if he gave his head a wobble, you'd hear him rattle. So I told you that politics is all a rigged game. They give you two options. What? You're Republican or Democrat? I mean, red or blue, Labour or Conservative, Democrat or Republican. It's all the same rigged game. If you look at it, if you look at the game, it is a game, but they don't let you or me see the rules. They know the rules they're playing by, and this is the game. Tax. Whether it be income tax, council tax, value-added tax, national insurance. The game is, it's all tax designed to get the money out of your pocket and into theirs and keep you impoverished. That's the game. If you want it simplified, that's the game. Money out of your pocket, your hard-earned, into their pocket. Now, how would they do that? Well, it's very simple. Foreign aid is money laundering, in my view. So what they do is they take your taxes and then they say, oh, we're going to give, as they did yesterday, $95 billion in aid. Where to? Oh, Ukraine, Israel and Taiwan. Why would they give aid to Taiwan? That's coming. So once you've washed the dollar, say you've given however many billions to Ukraine, they then buy the arms and armaments from the industrial military complex in America. So they take your taxes, give them to somebody else buys the arms and armaments, and the politicians all get a kickback. I'll ask you a question. How much do you think President Biden went into office with? And how much is his family going to come out with when he's finished with politics? It's that simple. You've got people going in, say a prime minister in the UK, 160, 170 grand a year. Why would an almost billionaire want chump change in his pocket? Because he's got so much money. He's earning more interest than he would do as prime minister, because he can take your taxes. We're talking about the British prime minister. He can take your taxes, give it to whomever he likes via Trotter Cameron, and then they wash it. And it comes back to companies in the UK. We shan't elucidate any further than that. So once you've washed the dollars or the pounds, you convert the dollars or the pounds into gold and sit on it, because the dollar is worthless. That's why America is scratching around and fighting for its life. Putin last night put the knife in real deep to the Americans. The dollar's worthless. Now, I'll remind you, a couple of days ago, that the Americans bombed Syria and Iraq. Why would they do that? Because on the 31st of January, Iraq told America that they had decided that they were going to sell their oil in a different fiat currency to the petrodollar. America, not being happy with that, decided to bomb them, teach them a lesson. Nothing else has happened after that, has it? And you see it as part of a whole Middle East game? No. Iraq stepped out of line by selling oil, or attempting to sell oil, under a different fiat currency. America's a bit upset with them. So, once you've washed your dollars or your pounds, you just buy gold. Because gold is going up in value. And just sit on it and borrow against it. How can politicians become multimillionaires on 80 grand a year? So the Ukraine is reported to have put Tucker Carlson on a hit list after the Putin interview. Why is that? Why? I mean, he's doing journalism. Not a bad interview, to be fair. So why Tucker Carlson and not anybody else? $95 billion just being washed yesterday, going to Ukraine. How many hundreds of billions of dollars have been given to Ukraine? They said they were going to start their own armaments industry at one point. Hundreds of billions. It'll be getting close to $1 trillion. And the American taxpayer, 30-odd trillion dollars in debt, and not asking their politicians, including the president, where's the money going? So the game is rigged, completely rigged. And you know it's rigged. So why haven't you done anything about it? Let's talk about the blue card. I mean, it's the beautiful game, but it's the Blazers. It's the prawn cocktail sandwich G&T drinking blazer wearing idiots that are spoiling it. It's the beautiful game. So now, first it was VAR. And they screwed that up. Next season, that's 2024 to 2025, they're going to trial a blue card. What on earth are they going to do? Well, a player will get a blue card for a 10-minute sin bin timeout. Ooh, so that little 10-minute cool down. I mean, I'm sure they stretch and do other things at half time, including getting a bit of orange, old school, new cool. But they're just going to have them sit for 10 minutes in a sin bin. So basically, the players are going to get a blue card for dissent, telling the referee to foxtrot Oscar, or for a cynical foul. Can you imagine Roy Keane? He'd been in the sin bin every game. 2 blue cards and the player is sent off. So that's the rules that they're going to introduce in 2025. This is the International Football Association Board, IFAB, if you wish. the Blazers. The prawn cocktail sandwich, G&T drinking, blazer wearing idiots. It's called a beautiful game, football, for its beauty, simplicity, but most importantly, skill. I mean, you and I, we might have been handy when we were at school. I played in goal, mostly, because didn't have to do anything. And it kept me warm-ish. But these Blazers, they have no idea about the game. No wonder Brian Clough was never made England manager, because he told them exactly. Now, they're going to trial this in the FA Trophy and the FA Vase, but not the FA Cup. I think that might be a step too far, to be honest. So blue cards, what will they be promoting next? Blue balls? What coloured card should we have for pants referees? You tell me in the comments below. This is just, I mean, it's ludicrous. People have gone insane. I swear to goodness they've been sniffing the barmaid's apron or drinking too much cooking sherry. Let's get to something really meaty. Another post office scandal. Now, the original scandal is escalating, but the post office and their IT scandal grows arms and legs. So the post office is saying that it's investigating claims it wrongly prosecuted former sub-postmasters because of faults in its capture IT system. It's another one. No, it's not Horizon. That was the original muck-up. I nearly swore there. But capture is another IT system that the post office is saying, lads, I think we need to have a look at this. So they're claiming, and these claims predate the Horizon IT system. Post office are concerned about prosecutions and possible shortfalls caused by faults. So it seems, in my view, not only have they had one IT system that's gubbed up big time, but then they've got another one that they've obviously done exactly the same thing with, Capture and Horizon. So two IT systems from Fujitsu that the post office have used, are using, and they've gubbed up big time. Why aren't people being put in jail for this? It's a simple question. Labour MP Kevin Jones calls it a second scandal and questions why the post office has not come clean. You know why the post office has not come clean? Because they know their heads are on the block. And working for the post office is not a bad screw, so to speak. Now, I believe that this is just political posturing. There's no integrity, no decency or honesty from the whole scandal. The only people that have integrity, decency and honesty are the people and the victims of this whole debacle. I'm not talking about the politicians, because they just they absolutely do nothing. They talk about, well, we've given hundreds of millions in compensation. They gave 52 million in compensation and 38 million went to the lawyers. You never see an impoverished barrister or lawyer, do you? Well, I haven't in my lifetime. So keep an eye open. The closer we get to a general election, the more this is going to bubble up again. The Prime Minister's spokesperson said, ministers were in active discussions about broadening the scope of the ongoing public inquiry. Oh, you know what that is? I told you about the money laundering and the money washing that they were doing with the military-industrial complex. Do you know that the Post Office has said that the inquiry cost £38 million in legal and running costs in 2023 alone? It's up from 12 million in 2022. So in 2 years, the inquiry that's still ongoing has cost £50 million. Who exactly has that cost? Hasn't come out the politician's back pocket. Oh, it must be me and you, the taxpayers. All these barristers involved in that must be clapping all the way to the bank. Blimey, that'll be a new suit or two for them, bless them. It also requires state funding. The Post Office has said it also requires state funding to cover the cost of updating its IT system from Horizon. So, let's have a guess. Who's that going to cost? So not only is it costing all the legal fees and all the compensation and a new IT system from a company that hasn't acknowledged yet that its IT system is shite. Oh, it'll be the taxpayers. They're washing money left, right and centre. Now, the Post Office continues to use these IT systems with support from its original developers, Fujitsu. who've been remarkably quiet through this whole scandal. Let's just keep an eye on that, because this has got arms and legs that could run for years through a general election. And I'll ask you a question. Where is On Me Ed Davey? He's disappeared. Does he know that his political career is finished? Does he know that his political party is finished? Unless they come out and start admitting with a bit of integrity and decency and honour that, well, they could have done things differently. I think a bit of honesty would go a long way with the electorate if the Lib Dems are listening. But obviously, evidently, they're not. They don't care. They just think that, well, if we stick our heads below the parapet, everybody will not realise that we're not going to do anything about it. I'm telling you, the Tories are done. They're going to be obliterated at the general election. The Lib Dems are going to be obliterated at the general election. And people are going to stand in the booths thinking, ooh, Keir Starmer, can I vote for him? It's the political system eating itself. And finally, for this ranty llox, the two dogs that mauled and killed 68-year-old Esther Martin in Essex have been confirmed as XL bullies. What are we going to do with the dangerous dogs? What are we going to do? Because the 22,000 XL bullies have been given exemption. Here's the starting point. Every dog, no matter the breed, muzzled when in public. And I won't comment further on those two XL bullies that mauled 68-year-old Esther Martin to death, because that's an ongoing case, criminal case. But I think that we should have honest and adult conversations. And I'm sure that bad dogs are just a reflection of bad owners. Muzzle them. Let's stop mucking about. We've had this conversation for 30-odd years. Dobermans, all kinds of breeds. Get them muzzled, because I'm sure good owners would be happy to muzzle their dogs in public. So go on, Foxtrot Oscar, and wake the Foxtrot up. My name's Adrian Allen. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. But most of all, thank you for your indulgence. And I'll see you in the next video.